You write what you know. That is a writing maxim that has existed since what it feels like forever. And for me and Leliani of Frau, at least it still rings true. But what if you take that maxim, you write what you know, somewhere meta? This week on Ash's Songwriting Podcast, Leliani of Frau and myself, and I, discuss meta-songwriting within the song called Something More. After the break.
Writing words to music is what I do, but what I love more is talking about it to you.
Hello. I'm Ash, and this is Ash's Songwriting Podcast, where we discuss my favorite thing to do in life, which is songwriting. This is episode 5 for the second week of September of 2013, and the main event of this episode is the second part of the interview I had a couple of weeks ago with Leliani of Frau, where we discuss Something More, the song Something More, a bit more in depth, going to the second verse, the bridge, and then the outro, as well as other different things. But before that, a little bit of housekeeping. Please like and subscribe to us on YouTube, /Ash Songwriting Pod, youtube.com/Ash Songwriting Pod. Please follow us on Tumblr, Ash Songwriting Podcast. Please like us on Facebook, Ash's Songwriting Podcast. And please, we are available in iTunes if you would like to subscribe that way. Just search for Ash's Songwriting Podcast. I'm also offering my services as a songwriter, mastering engineer, and translator at Fiverr.com. If you need any of those services, please visit Fiverr.com/Ababil Ashari. The addresses are in the show notes, and that's enough self-promotion for today. Now, a little bit of a primer. Please, we are going to jump into the interview in medias res. And the discussion that came before was primarily about the first verse of Something More, from Leliani Hermiasi's project, Frau's second album, Happy Coda. It's the first song there, and the first verse talks about tourists in her native Jogja and how she finds it interesting enough to begin a song about it. We are gonna punch through and discuss unique aspects of the second verse and the song in beyond the second verse, and the interview comes right after this. Please note that I am not a professional broadcaster, just a professional songwriter. So there's going to be a lot of crosstalk and a lot of ums and uhs. Please forgive me for that. Now, here comes the interview in 5, 4, 3, 2. A little bit of shop talk. It's almost a song for songwriters, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, it's like maybe something else could get me off the ground. A little synth or more could probably do the crowd. It's very interesting because you're primarily just a piano songstress artist. You're not. I hate to compare you to Regina Spektor, but you're not Regina Spektor. You don't use synths.
I'm very influenced by her.
Yeah, you're very influenced by her, but it's as if Regina Spektor did not actually touch a synth in the studio, which I find more. I like it more, I guess. I'm not just smoozing to the guest here, I guess. Anyway, a little synth could probably do the crowd or whatever. Why are you thinking these thoughts? Like, you're left unfulfilling by Jogja, and when you get home, presumably, and you're in front of the piano, why do you feel the need, at least lyrically, to augment yourself?
This song is actually it's actually inspired. Well, not really inspired, but behind this song is actually a character that I kind of liked in the past year. I've been kind of into the music from Suzanne Ciani. She's a pianist. And Her
Sorry,
first up was
Suzanne
Suzanne Kiani.
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 Can you type it in Skype so I can say it to
okay.
the, because that's kind of an important reference. I
How
suppose.
do you do it?
Hate to get it wrong. Suzanne Ciani, Suzanne as in Suzanne Vega, Suzanne Ciani, Ciani. Listeners, if you want to listen to what Frau loves, that's one of those. So you're inspired by Suzanne Ciani, but please continue.
Well, yeah, by her first album, and then after that, she started putting synthesizers, strings, and all these other like that became actually annoying because then the piano parts weren't
Okay.
really unplayed anymore. It just didn't feel pure
Right.
from her. I was actually annoyed at first, but then I tried to understand what she wanted to do, and I guess just wanted to give another touch to her music.
Right,
I
right.
wrote this song from like her trying to look at it from her point of view. So
Okay.
yeah,
That's very interesting. So a little synth or more could probably do the crowd.
That
Why
makes
don't you
sense.
understand?
I don't know.
Is why don't you understand? Why don't you know? That's coming from quote unquote Suzanne's perspective to you. So is it?
Yeah,
Oh,
it is.
very interesting. See if we
Supposed to be.
see if we didn't have like these kind of sort of in-depth interviews about one song, we would never know about these things.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so the last part of the song, not the last part of the song. That's all melody, and we're gonna get to that eventually. But
Yeah.
the last kind of meaningful lyrical part of the song is, it's coming clean on music wouldn't make it wrong. It may seem like I would never think it up. Like singing tunes are not really my choice. And,
So singing tunes are thing.
yeah, so coming clean on music wouldn't make it wrong. You know, that I think, and tell me if I'm wrong because you wrote the song. I think that's about like when you're like really frustrated and you want to tell someone off, if you put it to music and you can express yourself, but people won't hear it. But somehow you express yourself and it's there. The reason why I actually do you feel it like that? Was that semi accurate?
Pretty much that, right?
Okay. No, because like it's like tradition in music, isn't it? It's like
Yeah.
for like songwriters to like
It's
let's
actually meaning for like that she just just wanted to take it out, whatever.
okay. So where was I? Yeah, it goes back to the traditions like well, the Beatles singing about drugs on Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. That's about LSD, I think.
Right.
Still, right? No alternative interpretations, right? And Born in the U.S.A., famously being massively misinterpreted as a pro-American song, it's about Vietnam vets and how they're being stupidly treated, and it's
Okay.
like
Really?
it is Born in the U.S.A. You know what? I'm gonna read you the lyrics, okay? So if you, some people still
Okay.
think, and apparently you
Please.
still do, like Born in the USA is about like a pro-America song, but it's not. I mean, listen to the lyrics. Born down in a dead man's town. The first kick I took was when I hit the ground. You end up like a dog
Alright.
that's been beat too much till you spend half your life just covering up. That's not an optimistic portrayal of the USA. It gets
Okay,
worse.
right.
It gets worse. It gets worse. God in a little town. Oh wait, no, wait. God in a little hometown jam. So they put a rifle in my hand, sent me off to a foreign land to go kill the yellow man. It actually says in the middle of the song, had a brother at Khe San fighting off the Viet Cong. They've still, I know I'm doing this like a rap song, interpretive poetry, but it's Born in the USA.
Yeah, you are.
had a brother, Khe-san, fighting off the Viet Cong. They're still there. He's all gone. It's what you're doing with something more. Actually, it's like the great tradition in songwriting is just a.
This is interesting.
Yeah, I thought you knew already. I mean, yeah. Anyway, well, the more you know, right? Yeah. So, do you feel like I haven't read every Frau lyric ever, but do you feel like you pass on these hidden messages, like it's almost like Easter eggs for people who actually notice what the lyrics are, isn't it?
Sorry, like what?
Oh, sorry. I was saying like passing off these kind of sort of hidden messages or in plain sight.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. So, how did we get to Born in the USA? Okay, let's go back to something more.
Hi. Okay.
Okay. Let's pick it up.
I'm here.
Okay. Let's pick it up again. So that's the final kind of sort of meaty part of the lyrical portion, and then what's very interesting, is you decide. This is what you decide to do for the bridge. Let's just listen to it for a bit.
Okay. Yeah.
So there's this kind of sort of soothing instrumental thing happening. Like just you going through kind of sort of movements, and sometimes it's really harmonic, and then there's bits where it goes wrong almost. Wait. I think it's coming up. Still okay. I'm gonna fly now, and it gets wrong, dissonant, and then it goes bright again. It's like you're being optimistic, and then you're being pessimistic. No, not here. Yeah, pessimistic right here. It's like you're contrasting kind of sort of dissonance and whatever's not dissonant. Like, was that a conscious thing when you were writing the bridge? Like, I wanted to bring up the listener, and then I wanted to like mash these notes that are not in the scale, and then I want to be, what's the opposite of dissonance? I'm so used to making punk, I use dissonance more than consonance. Consonance, there we go. So, was that a conscious effort, or did the music just quote unquote flowed from you?
Yeah, well, it was actually kind of, I wanted it to get to a point where it didn't sound too whatever, because if it stayed in like that it was part.
Major key.
That part, the major keys and pretty sounds. It just was mixed with the intro that I've made at the beginning.
Right.
So, and besides that, it is pretty much about the song of someone who's confused, and people who are confused do tend to get into weird choices, get confused in how they're supposed to sound.
Right.
Sing the piano.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, it's okay. That's why I'm so jealous of like keyboard players, piano players, I should say. Like the piano has 88 keys. You can go really high. You can go really low. You can press all the notes at the same time if you wanted to. Like I'm like limited to a guitar. I can only effectively, I can only play 6 notes at the same time, right?
At the same time, if you want to, right?
Yeah, you can just put your forearm there, play 88 notes with a friend, but like guitars, you're only limited to like 6 notes at the same time. So limiting. I really regret not taking piano lessons, to be honest. Does that kind of freedom kind of sort of? You can still, right? Sorry, the question was, does that kind of freedom with the instrument of your choice kind of sort of encourages you to be like just you and the instrument? Because
Well,
yeah,
yeah,
go ahead.
of course, because when you're playing on the piano, you can play bass part, you can play melody, all at the same time. So then you're not really limited to what you can do.
Right.
And well, and besides that, I'm actually really not a very good person to be in a band with because
Yeah.
I guess I have some trust issues in how people can understand me very well.
Right.
I don't know, so whatever. So I just feel like it was just easier for me to create my own music rather
Right.
than.
Yeah, because like I think you said somewhere there that you're not the easiest person to be in a band with. Like me too, I guess, but because I'm like holding a guitar, I like make a
Yeah.
fake band. Like just making drums and making bass like forever alone. Okay, so that's the song. Like
Your
so.
music is cool. You play in a band.
No, I don't. I play in a band of the first album. That album was. Sorry, listeners, we're talking about shorthand phonetics, which is my
Oh,
thing. Yeah, we need to give context to listeners, I guess.
yeah. Oh, sorry.
It's okay. So yeah, I have a band called Shorthand Phonetics, and it's a fake quote unquote band, which I play every instrument. Whereas Frau is just free to like just piano and her, and it sounds full, right? Sound way too bitter there. Not good. Anyway, so we've pretty much reached to the end of something more, and then you do a. So there's an outro, and then interesting stuff happens.
So it brings.
Interesting stuff happens, and
Brings
if you want to
yeah.
listen, to it, you can go to
Okay.
Yes No Wave or go to SoundCloud, right? Leliani, if you want to listen to the full song.
I don't know. How do you?
Okay. Yeah. It's on Yes No Wave. It's a free download,
See that.
and it's also on SoundCloud. So now we've reached at the end of the song, and looking back 2 weeks, I suppose. looking back at the finished something more. It's pretty much the canon version right now. Are you happy with it?
I'm sorry. What?
Okay. No. I was just saying like something more is finished. It's on record. It's mastered. To change it would be to remix it, right? So it's pretty much
I see.
the canon version.
Yeah.
Are you happy with the version that's on Happy Coda? Would you change anything?
No, I won't change. But I think
Yeah, it's okay.
pretty kind of stressful at times. But the reason why I actually put up all my energy into getting these albums, getting these songs into albums, because I already have some new ideas for new songs. I just felt like I needed to make a home for these 8 songs before
Yeah,
I started
okay.
to think of new songs.
Cool. Okay.
So I kind of moved on with that.
So you're writing new songs now?
I think. So,
Okay. So you're just
not now. but-
not now. Okay. All right. So that wraps the bow on that discussion of something more. Leilani, can I indulge you in a fact and let's see how you react?
Okay.
Okay. Did you know that you can't get an erection in space? Like it's physically impossible to get an erection in space. You cannot make love in space.
What?
You have the song called Sepasang Kekasih di Luar Angkasa, which is like a pair of lovers in space
Yeah.
in English. You cannot do that. You cannot make love in space. It's physically impossible to get an erection in space because of zero gravity. Now you know.
Because of the
Because of zero gravity, there's nothing for the blood to push against.
Okay, that's interesting.
That is interesting.
Oh, I see.
Yes!
That makes sense.
That makes sense because
Okay.
it's such a beautiful song, Frau, but because I'm the kind of person that's into science and science fiction, I just can't imagine that happening. Anyway. Yeah, that's just for fun. I mean, it's a brilliant song. No one knows that fact at all unless you're like a science nerd like me. Well, actually, do you have any questions for me? Maybe?
Very interesting.
Yeah.
How do you write music?
Oh, how I write music?
Do you start from the melodies at first, or I don't know.
Well,
How
okay.
was your songwriting from?
Okay. So usually I start with like just a guitar. Like I just pick up a guitar. Let me just pick up a guitar right now. Just pick up a guitar and see what chords come. And let's say I want to play a D now, and then I say I'm singing with Frau and interviewing her, and I'm doing a really crappy job of it, and something like that. It just happens like that, actually. Like it's just picking up a guitar and what's happening with you, Abigail, and just jam it out. That's usually what happens, Frau. It's that simple. The problem is not everything needs to be a song, right?
It'd be fun.
It is fun, but not everything needs to be a song, right? Like, I mean, I can yeah. I mean, like, I can like sing about when I went to the grocery store. That doesn't have any melody, but it's just not interesting. That's why the limiting factor in my songwriting is just having stuff that's worth singing, I guess. Like that's why I come up with like mainly like for my shorthand phonetics kind of sort of project, I just make up these stories and somehow they're worth singing about. And so I that's the challenge I put myself, is that the words I'm saying, they have to tell a story, they have to tell a coherent thing for 40 minutes, and that's how I stimulate myself in songwriting. Yeah, I guess that answers your question, I suppose. Frau, Frau, it's do you have a question for the listeners?
Okay.
Yeah, do it!
For the listeners.
For the listeners!
Oh.
Come on, just anything. Like maybe you're playing and then you see an audience member and you're wondering that.
Oh, I would ask them, why are you downloading Frau?
Why are you downloading Frau? That's the question of the week. Frau is asking you, listeners, why do you download Frau? Thank you very much for the interview, Miss Leliani Hevmiasi. It's been a great pleasure having you here.
Thank you. It was a great talk with you.
Right.
Oh, thank you.
Maybe.
That's you.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe somewhere down the line you can return to the show and then we can talk about another song, or maybe we can just break down a song together. Like we can just pick a song and then we'll go through the verses and say what we think melody-wise.
That'd be nice.
That would be nice. You can be my guest host. From time to time.
Right.
We'll see what happens. Maybe we can get a better internet connection. How's that sound?
That'd be fun.
That would be fun. Okay, so that's the interview. Leilani, say goodbye to the listeners.
Okay, bye, listeners. Do you have like a nickname for them? I don't know.
No, I don't like to.
Bye, active podcast listeners.
Podcasties. My podcast name is like really generic, just Ash's Songwriting Podcast. It's not like cool like the guitar pick or the melody line. I really should have thought it through. Anyway, that's the interview. Bye, listeners. See ya.
Okay.
Yay! That was the interview with Frau. Lots of good discussion there, if I say so myself. Hope you liked listening to it like I did conducting the interview and editing the whole thing to make it somewhat listenable. For next week, we are going to do a mailbag episode, so send in all your songwriting questions into either the Facebook account or just comment on YouTube under the vid or ask me on Tumblr, and please do so. And the best questions will be picked and will comprise most of next week's episode, which is the mailbox episode. This has been Ash's Songwriting Podcast. You know what I'm gonna say about YouTube. Like and subscribe. Tumblr, please follow. iTunes, please subscribe. Facebook, please like. Plus, my band has a new song out. It's called The Aftermath is Secondary by Shorthand Phonetics. There's a video on YouTube about it. I'll link to you in the show notes. So, see ya until the mailbag episode. Keep that mail coming so I'll have good questions to answer on the podcast. And I guess that's it for me. See ya. Bye. Da.